Good news, we've made it to our final session. And even better news, this is the shortest session of them all, but equally as important as the rest because it's centered around how you can work together with your marketing team to take your company to new heights. I'm talking about places you've never been before. Almost every company has some kind of strategy centered around marketing. Not always, but they do. They post on social, they write blogs, they do a few ads, so on and so forth. But a marketing strategy, let alone a marketing campaign, is so much more than posting on social. A strategy for marketing has to start with the end in mind. What are your goals? Are they followers, brand awareness? Is it revenue? Is it new clients? Is it company headcount growth? Once you have these goals, everything just becomes clear. And this is how sales and marketing can help each other. Now hear me out. We got to start from the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we hear. It might be start from the top and go to the bottom. Either way, I just really like Drake. Consider the following, and this is important. What is the average contract amount? How many new leads produce an opportunity? How many opportunities produce a new client? How many leads does the marketing team bring in per month? And how many leads does the sales team bring in per month? Right, consider that. Now let's consider owned, paid, and earned media. Now all you need to do is work backwards. For example, consider how you create your owned media. Owned media is the content your company creates. It usually stems from a directive from your leadership team or the needs of your company. Now the marketing team does research and creation based on what they think will be best. Rather than create content this way, take a different approach. Ask your people, the ones working closely with your clients, or the salespeople, the ones talking to the clients or prospective clients. Find out what their ideas are and then use them. In fact, take it a step further and ask them if they want to be in the content. Now, you not only have better content, you have a gateway to earned media, because earned media is essentially the results of posting content, better known as engagement. If your people are involved in or are part of the content, they are going to be more likely to participate in it. Better than the alternative, isn't it? Oh, well, what do you mean? What's the alternative? The alternative is that your sales team or anyone at your company even knows that you're doing a campaign, therefore can't participate or doesn't know how to participate because you haven't talked to them. This is now where paid media comes into play. But first, I want to put something in your head. The more people that engage with your content, the better the reach, just in case you forgot. Especially when you don't have to work that hard for it. If you consider the potential earned media you have access to, consider the amount of employees you have. What if they all knew what you were doing and stood behind it? What I mean is, engaged with that content. If you're in marketing, you already know that when you create an ad, the platform you're creating it on will tell you what you can expect to get in a return. For example, if you put just $50 on Instagram over 4 days in an ad, it's going to show it to 1,500 people, give or take a couple hundred. Well, if you have 200 employees that know about the content, that engage with that one piece of content, you're going to have far more than 1,500 people see it. You'll probably have close to 100,000 people see it, and they're going to see it before you promote it. Now the value of that one piece of content is worth far more than the $50 you spent promoting it. I mean, paid media is easy. It's the amount you spend on ads to get engagement, or better yet, get conversions, because ultimately that's what you care about as a marketer. To better illustrate my point, I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm going to go way off script for this one. And this is how Donald Trump won the 2016 presidential election. $2 billion in earned media. That is a fact. I say this is how Donald Trump won the election in 2016 because that is the title of a seminar I went to the day after the election. Keep in mind, I signed up for that seminar a month in advance. A month earlier, somebody wrote a talk for a seminar attended by hundreds of people in Boston, where Gary Vee spoke, and the title of that talk was How Donald Trump Won the 2016 Election, which was crazy because what if he lost? That means if he lost the election in 2016, the guy was literally going to have to change his talk in the middle of the night. You remember ever being pushed up against a deadline, the kind of stress that causes? Imagine if 600 people are coming to your talk at 10 a.m. and you find out that Donald Trump loses at 2 a.m. Ah! Okay, let me get to my point. The point is that during the primaries, Donald Trump spent $10 million in paid media. $10 million bucks. It's really not that much when you compare it to Hillary Clinton spent $30 million, and this guy named Jeb Bush spent $100 million. It's a lot of money. Keep in mind, Jeb Bush lost significantly, and Hillary, well, we all know what happened. But here's what you don't know. What you don't know is the amount of engagement or earned media as a result of Hillary's paid media and Donald Trump's paid media. What Donald Trump figured out is that his base or his people, the way they wanted to communicate was through Twitter. And by knowing this, he tweeted 50 times a day. I may be off by 20 or so on that, but it's something like that. But I'm not off on the amount of return he got, which was $2 billion in earned media. So that thing I talked about where you have this amount of employees and they all engage in one piece of content, that was happening for Donald Trump. The value of his media was going through the roof, literally through the sky, into the stratosphere, into another planet. And this entire session or seminar that I went to discussed how significantly valuable earned media actually is. When you think about the engagement you can get and the potential earned media that you already have at your fingertips, think about the way that you communicate not only with your sales or your marketing team about the company's message, but with your people and getting them involved. Because once you do this, you're going to realize that a $50 ad is actually worth more like $1,000. And that is the significance of earned media and closing the loop with your team, which is what I want to segue into next. Closing the loop. Here's how this works. Your goal or your assignment following this session is simple. Set up a regular cadence or meeting together as a sales and marketing team to discuss the following questions. And make sure it's a regular meeting. Number 1, what our customers are saying. Number 2, what our prospective clients are saying. 3, what content has worked for you? What content is being planned? What ideas does each of us have for content? This is what is called closing the loop, and it's critical to the success of the company's overall social campaign and marketing strategy. And yet, marketing and sales teams still don't do it. They are two ships passing in the night with no clue on what each of them is actually doing, who they're talking to, and what is actually working. Sales doesn't need to be out front of marketing, and marketing doesn't need to be out front of sales. You need to be on the front lines together, working towards a common goal. So go ahead, right after I'm done, and call your marketing director or your chief sales officer and said, when are we setting up our closing the loop meeting, because we need to do it now. Tell them I'm ready to start.